Hey everybody, and welcome to Q&A Wednesday, where I answer the questions that you have about your health and fitness goals. So this one resonated with a lot of people today, so we're going to talk a little bit about why you are always hungry. So that's a good question. We're going to delve into it. You might be hearing a little bit of noise in the background. It is super windy here today. I don't know what's going on. It's definitely spring. I don't mind a little bit of rain, but you know, the wind's kind of annoying. Yeah, it's just a little crazy. But anyway, so this is a great topic today because I find that a lot of times people, they eat and then they're still hungry, or throughout the day they're just like, wow, what's going on? I'm starving. How do I avoid that? I'm trying to lose weight. What can I do to make this easier on myself? So we're going to delve into that a little bit because it might be a thing. Maybe it's a couple things that you already know, and maybe it's some things that you didn't think about before, right? So let's talk about it. All right, so the first thing that I want to talk about is, are you really hungry, right? Because for most people, when they think I'm hungry, okay, but is it real hunger or is it what we call phantom hunger, right? It could be cravings, and so you're not really hungry. There's a physical hunger. You're gonna know what that is, at least most people do. And that is, that gnawing sense in your stomach that you're like, oh my gosh, I need more food. I'm hungry. It's been a while. Usually your body actually learns to tell you that it's hungry at the same times of the day, because your body really likes a schedule. So if you tend to eat at very similar times during the day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, whatever that is, then your stomach will actually physically start to go rah, 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 right? And you can feel that, and that's pretty normal. Some of that is actual physical hunger. Some of it is just because it knows that you tend to eat that time of day, and it's a reminder, hey, you really do need to feed me. But the problem is that sometimes it's not really a physical hunger. It's something in your head going, I think I'm hungry. Like, I tend to get hungry when I'm stressed out. That's how I know it's an emotional hunger. Or I'm bored, right? I just feel like I need to put something in my face. So that can be a problem. Now, here's how you know the difference as to whether or not it is actual physical hunger or whether it is a phantom hunger. It is, what does it take for your body to be fine, right? What do you need to feed it in order for that hunger to go away? So if it is comfort food, if it's like, I need, biscuits and gravy, or I need popcorn, or I need something that's a lot of sugar, I need cake, whatever that is, whatever that comfort food is that's for you, that's probably a phantom hunger, right? Because if it was really true physical hunger, anything would solve that. So even things like, vegetables and things like that would solve that kind of an issue. So again, keep that in mind, that it might not really be true physical hunger. It could be phantom hunger. And you got to distinguish that, right? So, if it's a craving, if it's, like I said, if it's wanting comfort food, if you're wanting something that's really processed, it's probably not really truly hunger. But the other thing is, you could also just be thirsty. A lot of times we mix up what our signals are with our bodies, and we start thinking, okay, well, I think I'm hungry, but maybe you're dehydrated, right? And you actually need to get some more water, because it really isn't just necessarily the hydration itself, but the electrolyte balance that your body really needs in order to function optimally. And so it's trying to tell you something. I think we really, especially in this day and age, have really lost track of how we're supposed to feel. Our bodies do tell us things. We just don't know how to pay attention anymore. And we've eaten so much chemical garbage that our body's hormones, in order to tell us that it's hungry or full, are so mixed up, we don't know how to read those anymore. So, really, when it comes down to, is it really ghrelin? Is it that hormone that tells you I'm hungry? I always think of ghrelin as, grr, I'm hungry. Or is it, am I hungry? Am I not hungry? Leptin levels might be off. And so leptin is the I am full that your body tells you, that's how your body communicates with you, but you can't read those hormones anymore. You don't know what it's telling you. So keep that in mind. You may not really truly be hungry. Learn to figure out those signs, right? All right, number 2, are you eating enough? Now, I get this one all the time, because the first thing that people do when they think, I really just want to lose some weight, so I'm going to totally cut back on my calories. That's a problem, right? And if you've listened to any of my stuff before, you're going to know that your body does not know the difference between a diet and starvation. So if you are if you're eating way too much of a deficit, your body is going to fight you on that, and it's going to make you crave food. It's going to make you hungry. It'll do whatever it takes to make you eat, because it wants you to survive. That's what your body does, right? So keep that in mind, that a lot of times people just aren't eating enough. Now, I know that the thing that you're told when you're trying to lose weight is eat less, move more. And that's a crock of crap, just so you know. Yeah, you can move more, that's great, but exercise itself is not going to outdo, any sort of diet that is not nutritionally sound. The problem is it's not eat less, it's eat right. You have to eat nutritiously, right? And I know you're tired of hearing that, but I heard something today and I loved it. They talked about that most food that we think is food is not really food. It is food stuff or food-like stuff. That's what it is. I mean, there needs to be like a horrible name for that kind of chemical. Like Oreos are not really food, guys. It's a food-like substance. So again, you're not getting nutrition out of it. You're just getting, sugar and fat, mostly like the trans fats. So you're not getting a good healthy amount from it. So really it doesn't come down to eating less, it's eat enough of the right things. So when I work with people and we start to talk about what their meal plan is, they're going, wow, that's a lot of food. I'm like, I know, but that's about half a pizza that anybody can eat at one sitting. It's just because it's clean and it's whole food, right? Then it just seems like it's a lot of volume. So it seems like a lot of food. So it could be that you really truly are hungry. Now here's the deal. If you are hungry, feed it. If you are truly physically hungry, your body is telling you something. You've got to learn to listen to that. So you might need to feed it. Now here's the thing. What you feed it with is going to be important. So, if you're focused and maybe you're working with a coach and you have macros and you're like, but I'm still hungry, dude, eat more vegetables. Really, I let my people eat unlimited vegetables, green vegetables especially, because they're so nutrient dense. I don't really care how much they eat. I've been through prep and been to the point where my stomach hurt so bad, I would eat cucumbers because number one, there's not a lot of calories in them, and I would actually feel full when I would eat them. I would feel physically full. So not a bad idea. You need to feed it. Being hungry is just another way of saying you have a metabolism, right? So it's not necessarily a bad thing unless you've taught your body to crave the wrong foods. And then that absolutely can be a problem. And unfortunately in our country, our standard American diet is highly addictive, chemical-filled foods, right? So again, back to that food-like substance, it's not really food. And so of course we tend to feel like we need more and more and more, and so we tend to think we're hungry. All right, the other thing that you might be missing out of your nutrition plan is healthy fats. Now, one of the benefits of healthy fats have had a real rough marketing advertisement plan here in the last few decades. Unfortunately got vilified for a very, very long time, but healthy fats actually keep you satiated. They're slower to enter or exit the digestive system, and so your body, it actually perceives that it's still full. So it's a very satiating option. And if you don't get enough of that, then we have a problem. And like I said, it's unfortunate that we had this whole issue that where, we were told that dietary fat makes you fat, which is, again, not true. But unfortunately, that has created an incredibly unhealthy population in our country over the last few decades. If you see the cause of the rise of obesity, since they talked about, they came out with low-fat products, which were full of sugar, that was a huge issue. Remember Snackwells? Anyone remember those? Low-fat cookies. I don't care. They're full of sugar and garbage. It's kind of like the protein cookies of today. It's like, I don't care what they contain, protein-wise. If they're full of sugar and they're full of chemicals, they're still a processed product. The other thing that we tend to be missing is fiber. So again, if you are eating a lot of processed food, you're not getting fiber from whole healthy foods like vegetables. We really need those because number one, again, it slows the digestion out of its exit strategy, and it makes you feel fuller longer. So again, it's an important part of eating well and eating right. So, and you might be hungry because again, try employing any of these tips and you'll probably find that you're not physically hungry. Again, part of it is being able to tell, are you really, really hungry? All right. Number 3, a lot of us, I do believe, are addicted to food. Now, because the way that our food is processed, especially these days, there is, again, so much processed food. What do you think flour is? Everybody's like, well, I don't eat a lot of sugar. And I'm like, okay, but you like pasta. What do you think that pasta is made of? Well, it's made of flour. What do you think flour does as soon as it hits your digestive system? It turns into sugar. So again, we become so chemically dependent on sugar And it's really interesting. If you do any bit of research, it's pretty commonplace knowledge now. If you do any research on that, you're going to see that they do brain scans of people on sugar and cocaine and heroin, and it lights up the same part of the brain in all three of those substances. So sugar, unfortunately, is an addictive substance. I know they've tried for a very, very long time to tell you that that's not true, but I think we're just at that tipping point of enough knowledge that we all know that sugar is a problem. So anytime that you have a really highly processed diet, again, even if it's not a lot of sweet options, it's making your blood sugar do this, right? And so when people say, well, I'm shaky, I'm low blood sugar, I really need more sugar. If you're having blood sugar swings, you are eating too much sugar, period. Your body actually knows how to make glucose from other items, including proteins. So if you're having those blood sugar swings where you're hypoglycemic, that's a problem, because it means that your body is doing this up and down thing. Number one, you're miserable. I don't know anybody who feels great when they're having that situation happen. But anybody who has cut sugar out of their diet realizes, wow, withdrawals from that substance are intense. So again, part of it is the fact that sugar itself and all the chemicals in food, because again, it's not just the sugar, because even natural sugar is still a problem for some people, but look at all the other chemicals and additives and things that are in that. Anything with more than 4 or 5 ingredients is really probably not healthy for you. But they are designed to make you addicted to them. And so by eating them, your body craves more. It's not just the food itself, it's what's in it that your body craves. And sometimes we figure out what our trigger foods are. Those trigger foods then tend to make us want more and more and more of that junk. So that absolutely can be a problem. All right. So again, it's been proven, the research shows that when you are eating a lot of foods that are highly processed, your body will want more. It will make you eat more. Number 4, you might be missing nutrients. So, we talked a lot about eating clean, healthy, whole foods. If you're not getting the right amount of nutrients that your body needs, even just the minimal amounts, you probably heard the what is recommended, the daily recommended allowance of certain vitamins and minerals. And if you don't get that, your body is going to crave things in order to get what it needs. So people say, well, I crave chocolate. Well, maybe you need magnesium, and you can get magnesium in other things. So again, if you're missing those things, your body will continue to crave foods until you get those nutrients. So if you're constantly hungry, it's probably because you're not giving your body enough variety of healthy food that gives you the things that you need in order to run optimally. All right. Number 5, you're probably not sleeping enough. Most of us don't. That is, unfortunately, it's become this heroic thing that, I can live on 2 hours of sleep. That is extremely detrimental. And I've talked in other episodes of this about how detrimental not getting enough sleep is, because there's many things that happen while you sleep. Your body it cleans up toxins, it does a whole lot of things there. But the other thing that it does is it rejuvenates, right? The studies have shown that people who don't get enough sleep, even just in one night, will crave more food. They tend to overeat more, and they just struggle with enough energy. So their body's trying to replace it in other ways, which through food. So again, if you're not getting enough sleep, your body's going to try and find that energy in another way. It also shows that people that don't get enough sleep, that leads to higher ghrelin levels. And remember, we just talked about ghrelin, is your hunger levels. It means that's the hormone that your body releases to go, I need to eat more food. So keep that in mind. If you want your body's leptin levels, which is the I'm satiated, I'm full, to do its job, you've got to get enough sleep. Okay. Number 6, you eat too fast. I've had this situation happen because, again, when I used to compete, I would be hungry and I'm done. I'm eating my food going, I am still hungry. Part of it too is that we've just learned to eat so fast, whether that's because we're distracted from other things like watching TV or whatever else is in our life on our phones, right? So unfortunately, we're not paying attention. And so sometimes we eat so fast, all of a sudden we look down, it's gone. Our body hasn't even gotten the chance to start digesting. So it has not released the leptin to tell you, hey, I'm full, we're good. You probably heard that, like something like your body takes about 20 minutes behind what you eat in order to actually show up to whether or not you're full. So if you are shoving that food down, and I've been known to do that in between clients at work, I know, but that's more of a timing issue, not more of a I need more food issue. Give yourself a chance to actually slow down, think about what you're doing, focus, enjoy your food, enjoy every bite, right? eat in a very healthy, focused manner makes a big difference. All right, a couple other things that you might be dealing with that could make a difference as to why you are hungry. Sometimes there are medications which actually show a predisposition to have cravings and want more food. So whether you have a medication or even maybe some sort of a predicament, a physical issue with your body, whether it's maybe a thyroid issue or something to that effect, you might be hungry, right? If your body is not functioning optimally to its best ability, it might think, I need more food. And again, maybe you do. Maybe you do need some extra food in your life. Again, healthy, there is a difference, but that could be part of it. Stress also makes a huge difference. If you're stressed out all the time, man, that's extra energy your body is dealing with, and it wants to actually replace that energy. But again, most of the time, it's not wanting healthy foods, right? Keep that in mind. Okay, so really quick, I just wanted to leave you with one more tip, because one of the things that I find is that when people start exercising, they're actually hungrier. Well, duh, because you're expending more energy. So realize that your body's requirement, or what it thinks that it needs, in contrast to the exercising more, it's going to want to replace that energy somehow. So keep that in mind. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't replace that. Of course, if you are exercising, you might need to eat a little bit more, especially if you're strength training. You need to make sure you're supplying your body with the ingredients that it needs in order to actually build the muscle, or it won't do it. So if you're exercising, you might be hungrier. I've had clients get home and go, why am I so hungry? Because you just lifted 45 minutes ago and your body wants food. So it's not a bad idea to have something with you right after your workout, or just to be paying attention to that and make sure that, again, that you have to eat enough calories. Really quick, just if for those of you who haven't listened to any of this before from the things I talk about, yes, you want somewhat of a deficit in your calories when you are trying to lean out and get your body to use body fat or adipose tissue as an energy source. The problem is if your deficit is too big, your body won't actually work into your energy source, into your adipose tissue. It will actually literally store everything that you eat, because it's starvation. Your metabolism slows down. Your body tries to find ways to preserve. Yeah, you'll be tired, but you'll also not be able to lose weight. I hate that term. Or lean out or lose that fat. So keep in mind that a surplus or a deficit is okay. You don't necessarily want a surplus unless you're trying to build muscle, but you don't want too big of a deficit. You know, if you're burning 3,500 calories a day and you're doing what that stupid everybody thing does, the 1,200 calories is your intake, you're gonna really struggle to get where you wanna go. So keep that in mind. Hope you guys are having a great afternoon. Stay warm. It's really cold, but I'm super excited that it's spring. But you know what? If you guys have a question, please, you can either leave a comment down below, or you can message me directly at my Facebook Messenger. I do respond, and I do use your questions, because of course, that's what helps me to give you the very best set of information and education that I possibly can. So have a great night, you guys. And until next week, that is Q&A Wednesday. Have a great night. Bye.